It's really interesting to see that teams that are so much smaller are having this enormous impact. I mean, to say that you could build the same company with 10 times less people is probably not even true. You can probably do it with even less people. So I see all of our fellows are not just building products and services with AI, most of them, but they're also building their companies with AI. So they're using AI native infrastructure for their operations, for their marketing, for their go-to-market, sales processes. I mean, they're using AI all over the place, and of course, the developers are using these incredible tools. I read a post the other day. I think it was on LinkedIn, and the guy leading the team for Claude Code has got a setup with 20 Claude Code instances, a few running locally, the rest in the cloud, and then having a number of Claude skills, doing stuff like finding bugs, fixing them, testing the user interface, and writing documentation and looking for security flaws and weaknesses. It's one guy is basically like the conductor of an orchestra, and agents are playing all the music instruments. So it really is striking that it feels like the syntax of writing code, if it's not already all gone, it's we're literally a month or so away from that. Meaning that yes, you need to have an understanding of what is really great architecture, because that part is not fully completely automated. I mean, if you write a bad prompt, you're going to get a bad piece of software in some respects still. And so I think it's more a question of being able to build companies with smaller teams comes from having AI do a lot of the manual, or shall we say the time consuming tasks, and where the developers or the product people or the people running the company can do increasingly higher level, higher value tasks. And so it's kind of empowering everyone to be that much more efficient and that much more productive, I would say. And that has the effect then that there's all these, Sam Altman is talking about it, the one person billion dollar value company. I think it's almost happened with Peter Steinberger and OpenClaw. I mean, they're not for profit, right? But if you look at the value of what he's created and the foundation and how much buzz there's around all of this, wouldn't surprise me if this, even as an open source company, somehow becomes worth $1 billion. And it's one guy coding for a number of months, and then this is what he produces. I think it was his 45th or 46th project that he was checked into GitHub. So he was just building stuff and having fun, and that was also his message that he wanted to give to all the students. This was at Imperial, an Imperial hackathon in London, and he kind of said that build something, have fun, be sort of this childlike play kind of mindset. Like I've given you a box of Lego, go build something cool. And I think that was very positive, and definitely a counterpoint to kind of this very capitalistic, like you've got to go and build something and make, you got to make all this money. He was very much more towards, if I'm building stuff and having fun, I will build something valuable, and then that's going to make money. But it's certainly didn't seem to be his focus. So going back to your question, what does it look like, the one person, $1 billion company? Funny you should mention that, because I was actually at an event last year on a panel, and this was the question. So in preparation for that panel, I of course asked ChatGPT, when are we going to get the first $1 billion single person founder company? And I think it answered, if it was 2027 or something like that. And the type of business that it would be, that was kind of described by the answer, was that it would be something within kind of combining social media with a content creator ecosystem, maybe even a game. So maybe if you combine something like Roblox with TikTok, where you have people that are creating content, and that's attracting more people. So you virtually drive the customer acquisition cost to zero. Think what we've seen so far, maybe something like Midjourney, where people go there because they see other people's beautiful images, and then they take that prompt, they tweak it, and then they make their own version. So kind of refactoring or reusing content that is being produced by a community. And then that one person, uses AI for all of the operational tasks within the company, and then just kind of manages and orchestrates a fleet of agents managing the company, and as well as the actual development of the product. I think there was a sole developer. He built an what started off as kind of an open source game. I think it was called Stardew Valley or something very, very sort of graphically simple. Looks like The Legend of Zelda for Nintendo or something like that. And I think the guy sold like 800 million copies of the game or something. Half of it for the Nintendo Switch, actually, and the other half on Steam, I believe. But that guy had sold for probably $600-700 million. One person, one computer game. So that's kind of showing the potential, and that it's already happening.